In this video, we're comparing the Surface Laptop 7 to my currently daily driver, the Lenovo Yoga 9i, to find out which Windows Ultrabook is better. We'll look at design, features, performance, and battery life. It's going to be an epic one, so stick around. So what makes this interesting is that the Lenovo uses a traditional Intel x86 processor, but these new Surfaces have the new ARM chips from Qualcomm, and this one has the Snapdragon X Plus model. There's also a Snapdragon X Elite. These new ARM chips offer much better battery life and snappy performance, but the trade-off is that some applications won't work on these ARM chips, so Microsoft is going through a transitional period right now. Comparing the build quality of the two of them, I must say that the Surface Laptop is slightly better. It's got these rounded corners, very sharp edges. It's a little bit lighter and sleeker in the body. It also has the better trackpad, which is a haptic trackpad compared to a mechanical trackpad on the 9i. This one doesn't click towards the top, but with a Surface Laptop, you can click anywhere. Not to say the Yoga is bad, it is a very nicely designed laptop, but the Surface is just a slightly step above. Here are the benefits of the Surface Laptop. It has a slimmer body. It comes with no bloatware, no pre-installed software. It's a super clean and minimal installation of Windows, which is amazing. It's got that magnet charger. There's no ridiculous stickers on the body. It technically has the faster processor between the two, and it opens with one finger perfectly every single time, whereas the Yoga 9 doesn't always open with one finger. It feels like the hinge needs to break in a little bit before it does that consistently. But the Yoga 9i's strengths is that it has a better webcam at 1440p versus 1080p in the Surface. And here is the camera and microphone test on the Surface Laptop 7th generation. Now, I really don't think it's the best camera. It's a 1080p 30 frame per second camera. It's a little bit soft and blurry for my liking, but the sound quality is pretty sharp. However, the video quality on the Lenovo Yoga 9 is certainly better. And now here we are on the Lenovo Yoga 9. As you can see, the image quality is significantly sharper. This is a 1440p webcam, but I do think the sound quality is not quite as crisp as the Surface Laptop, so there's a bit of a trade-off there. So you have to decide which one is more important for you. It does have a fingerprint reader as well as Windows Hello. It's got, of course, that 360 hinge, so if you do want to use it in a tablet mode, you're gonna have to go for the Yoga. It has significantly better graphics performance, not only as far as the frames per second you're gonna get, but also the compatibility of games and what will actually run. And it has overall better application compatibility. I had no issues with the Surface, but I'm sure there are programs out there that won't install on the Snapdragon processor. You also get a pen with the Yoga, and it does have better keyboard lighting. It's just brighter, and the Lenovo actually has an auto brightness feature that you can leave on, and it detects the light in the room. If there's a lot of light, the keyboard will turn off the backlighting. Once it goes dark, the backlighting automatically comes on. Okay, let's get into performance. So as you can see in Geekbench 6, the single core performance of the Snapdragon X Plus is very similar to the Core Ultra 7 that's in my Yoga 9, but it does outpace it in multi-core processing. However, the Yoga 9 really reels it back when it comes to graphical performance. You're getting about 50% better performance with the Core Ultra 7 compared to the Snapdragon X Plus chip. So graphics is where these new Snapdragons are still not quite there yet. But a nice thing is that the performance did not change at all compared to if it was on battery or if it was plugged in, and that's super refreshing to see. We have all these options in the Windows ecosystem now that give you the same performance on battery compared to being plugged in. If you are planning on doing any sort of gaming, then the Surface Laptop is definitely not the laptop for you. That is unfortunately where the Surface Laptop completely falls flat on its face. Cyberpunk crashed right away. God of War didn't open at all. And while I could get Spider-Man Remastered to open, the settings I had to lower to get the game to run in any sort of a smooth fashion was just terrible. It looked like PlayStation 1 graphics. Everything was blocky, there was artifacting, there was assets missing from the game. The gaming performance was just abysmal on this laptop. Even if you're doing casual gaming, you really should go for something with an Intel or AMD processor, because their integrated graphics have come a long way and can actually give you a pretty good gaming experience. If you're doing 720p, 1080p, low to medium settings, you can totally get away with some gaming with even a modern entry-level Intel and AMD processor. But the gaming experience on the Lenovo Yoga 9i was significantly better. And here we are in Cyberpunk 2077 playing on the laptop. The graphics set to 7 720p. It's mostly medium or low on the graphics here, and the game runs pretty good. Like, you could absolutely play the game like this, have a pretty good experience. It actually still looks pretty good with that super sampling sharpness, very smooth. You're getting at least 30 frames per second, maybe even 40 or 50 in certain cases. And I've got my PlayStation 5 controller paired up. The game loaded up right away, didn't crash or freeze or anything like that. So pretty good gaming performance. I have this Yoga 9i with that Intel processor, and even Spider-Man Remastered worked no problem. Again, 720p. This time I set it to low settings, and it looks all right. You can definitely play the game, enjoy it. Nothing is missing. Unlike on the Surface where like half the game was missing, you can see like the water looks pretty good. And this is even at low settings. So not a bad experience. Again, you can definitely play the game like this and enjoy it. And look at that. I even got God of War running. Now this one's at the absolute lowest possible settings, lowest resolution, and it's still pretty choppy. So you're not playing God of War on this laptop. Okay, there you go. Like it just started right there. So you're not going to play this game actually like this. But in this comparison test, the fact that the game actually opens at all still puts it ahead of the Surface laptop, because the Surface laptop couldn't even open the game. It would just crash right away. With this one, the game actually opens. It does technically run. It just doesn't have the performance to really run the game properly for you to play it. But in the comparison, it still wins compared to the Surface laptop. If you are going to be doing any sort of gaming, even if it's casual, get the Yoga 9i or an Intel powered laptop or something with an AMD chip, because these Surface laptops, they just don't have the gaming support or performance. It was just a terrible experience. Now, both laptops have nice screens, but here's how they compare. So both screens are set to 100% screen brightness. And as you can see, the Surface is on the left side. And while it looks really good that the OLED screen on the Lenovo Yoga 9 is just so much more vivid. Look at the black bars on the Surface. They look gray compared to that deep, true black that you get with the OLED screen on the Yoga 9. The colors just pop more. The lake is nicer. The green and the mountains in the back. When you look at the Surface, it's just not quite as vivid or as sharp. I thought it was an OLED at first, but when you compare it with the Yoga 9, you can then see what a true OLED screen can do. The more accurate colors, the more vivid, and those deeper blacks, it just doesn't compare. Now for the speaker test, both are at 100% volume. We'll start with the Surface and I'll switch back and forth between the two. So you should be able to tell that while the Surface sounds pretty good, the Yoga 9 just blows it out of the water. It's louder, it's got way more bass, way crisper sound. You have that sound bar in the middle there, and it makes a tremendous difference when it comes to sound quality and volume. Okay, what about application compatibility? Everyone's heard these new ARM chips. Some programs don't work because they're ARM-based and not x86-based, like what you can get from Intel or AMD. In my workflow, everything I tried to install worked. Chrome worked, OBS Studio worked, DaVinci Resolve even installed and had pretty good performance on the Snapdragon. I was quite impressed with that. So as a user, I felt no compatibility issues. I just clicked, installed, everything worked as I expected. I didn't notice any sort of an issue when it came to compatibility. The system felt extremely responsive, very smooth. It was very impressive. It was super snappy. I didn't feel a single lag at all while using it. And even when it came to multitasking, switching apps, everything was just completely seamless. Okay, what about battery life? How does that perform? Now it's time for an epic battery test. I've got the Yoga 9 on the left and the Surface laptop on the right. And just as a wild card, I also have the Yoga 7 in the middle. This one is actually the 155U chip compared to the 155H that's in the Yoga 9. So that should give a substantially better battery life. They're all set to 35% screen brightness. They're all on power save mode, and all the backlit keyboards are off. I'm gonna play the same video and start the timer. Okay, it has been 7 hours and 56 minutes. The Yoga 9 is at 9%. The Yoga 7 is at 48%, which is amazing. And the Surface is at 57%. So I'll call it now 9%. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the Yoga 9. It's officially in last place. I'm going to go back to sleep. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to come back in the morning and see where these guys are at. Okay, the Yoga 7 is now officially at 9% battery, and that's at 13 hours and 52 minutes. So we're gonna call it Yoga 7 is officially out. Okay, so that's it. The Surface Laptop is now down to 9%, and the official time is 15 hours and 17 minutes. I totally understand why Microsoft has went with these Snapdragon processors. You just can't argue with this battery life. So my Yoga 9 got absolutely dusted at about 8 hours, and that was at 9% battery life left. The Yoga 7 was actually super impressive. Remember, that's still an Intel processor, and the fact that I was getting under 14 hours and still having 9% of battery life left, with the way that was going, it could have went for another hour, hour and a half before it totally died. You just can't argue with the battery life of the Surface Laptop. It is the standout feature, and I can totally see why Microsoft is going in this direction with these new Snapdragon chips. I looked at many other reviews, and even the latest M4 MacBook Air, it's rated up to 18 hours, but this Surface Laptop is rated up to 20 hours. In real world testing, I'm seeing reviewers getting about 12 and a half hours of battery life on the new MacBooks compared to the 15 hours and 17 minutes I got on the Surface Laptop, and it still had 9% battery life left. If you're a business user, you can totally use this laptop all day long and even into a second day. If you're a light user, you could probably go for like a week of using this laptop without needing to charge it at all. And now for a web browsing test, they're both set to high performance. Let's see which one has faster web browsing. Okay, look at that. So the Surface Laptop absolutely smoked the Yoga 9 when it comes to web browsing speed. So as you can see with web browsing, the Surface Laptop is significantly faster. That single core performance of the Snapdragon chip is really showing it here when it comes to web browsing performance. The Yoga 9 feels very snappy and great to use, but there is a noticeable difference in responsiveness when using the Surface Laptop. I think as time goes on, these Snapdragon chips will become more and more competitive, and with application and gaming support getting better, it's very nice to see a third option in the Windows ecosystem. And for SSD speeds, we got 3600 read compared to 6165 on the Yoga 9. So the SSD is both faster in read speeds, and the write speed is 3051 compared to 4212. So faster read and write speeds on the Yoga 9, which is very surprising. I didn't think it was going to be the case. While the processor speed is faster on this one, the SSD may actually make up that difference. So what are my final thoughts? Which laptop is better and which one am I going to use going forward? Overall, I would say the Surface Laptop is better for most people as long as you don't care about gaming at all. You don't need a 360 hinge and you don't care to have a fingerprint reader. And also, if you're not someone who does any drawing, you're not doing any sort of presentations where a pen would be handy, in that case, the Surface Laptop is pretty much a perfect machine. It has insane battery life, a very smooth user experience, incredible build quality, no installed bloatware, no garbage ads. It's also got that magnet charger, which all makes it too good to pass up. The Surface Laptop is truly in a class of its own, and it really is Microsoft's MacBook. However, in my personal case, I'm sticking with the Yoga 9 for now. I like the 360 hinge. I use the fingerprint reader to log in. I prefer the better keyboard lighting with the auto feature. And although I don't game all that much on the laptop, I like to know that it's there for the odd time I want to hop into a game when I'm not at home. It's also got the better screen and the better speakers, making it better for media consumption. But putting my personal needs aside, like I said, the Surface Laptop is probably better for most people. Now, I've done full reviews on both the Surface Laptop 7 and the Yoga 9i, so make sure to check out those videos if you want to know more about each one. And if you do want to purchase either one of these laptops, make sure to use my link in the video description to help support the channel. And let me know if I missed anything and I'll cover it in a short video. My name is Baz and you're watching Pro Shopper. On this channel, we help make tech buying easy. If that sounds good to you, then I hope to see you in the next one.